What's up, YouTube? Drew here, kicking it old school. Just a little side note for you other people about my age. I'm pushing 40. It's really hard to wrap my head around this car that was like, still being made the year I got my driver's license is so antique, but it is straight up antique. You will never open the hood of a car again and see something this, I hate to say, but well made. I mean, look at this. The intake plenum, solid cast aluminum. The valve covers, aluminum. Now everything's a 4-cylinder turbo with just so much plastic. Anyways, and no, the new stuff's not better. Anyways, just doing the rear valve cover gasket, which is a nightmare on this car, and this exhaust pipe is in the way to get the cover off. And I just wanted to show you guys, you're going to really have to bear with me. You see the handle of my wrench there? Well, that is, and I'm going to desperately try to show you. So a 10 millimeter deep socket, what I did to get on there was I felt all the way down the pipe, and then if the flange is like at this angle here, right? So the front bolt's tipped a little bit toward you, I think, and the back one's a little bit away. So like looking at it, instead of 12 and 6, it's like 11 and 5, if that makes sense. I pushed the socket on there as hard as I could and then tapped it with the wrench just to get past some of the surface rust, even though this is a Florida car. And, I've said this in a lot of my videos. It's not like it's like a crack. Or if, I guess ideally you'd get on it with some kind of tiny impact, but there's no way to get in there. This wouldn't fit either. So your hand, instead of being way on the handle and using pressure this way, it needs to be like a crack is the best way I could describe it, or you will strip that little guy out. And this can go real sideways. That's on the head of the engine, and you're just simply not getting that valve cover off with that in the way. So I took both nuts off to the point where they were just about to come off, but left them on a few turns, and that pipe's going to swing right out of the way. That way I don't have to fish everything blind again. Fun fact about Toyota, all their workers, at least in the era I'm familiar with, all their workers have to have their head supported and have to be able to see whatever they're doing. So if it's a bolt that's way down in there, they're not allowed to touch it. Obviously, that would have been on the engine and the engine put in from the bottom of the car. But Toyota's own production process, you need to be able to see something to fasten it or tighten it or plug it in or whatever. So we're against that here. Anyways, I'm Drew. I hope this tip is helpful. That's an impossible couple bolts, but it's doable. You just saw it. Take care. Be sure to subscribe for more old school. To me, old school used to be 50s. I guess not anymore. Anyways, take care. God bless later, and be sure to subscribe. Bye.